Hi, this is Ajay Anand and welcome to science classes from excelup.com. In this lesson, you will learn about atoms and molecules. This chapter has been taken from Science of class 9. The key points which I am going to discuss are: number 1 is laws of chemical composition, number 2 Dalton's atomic theory, number 3 atomic mass, number 4 existence of atoms and mole concept. What is atom? Atom is the smallest unit of matter that forms a chemical element. As per definition, atoms cannot be destroyed, which means if we break an atom into its constituents, then the element will cease to exist. Atoms are extremely small and they are in the range of less than even a nanometer. A nanometer is equal to 10 power minus 9 meter, which means it is equal to 1 upon 10 power 9 meter. Molecule is an electrically neutral group of two or more atoms held together by chemical bonds. So the key term here is electrically neutral. Because of being electrically neutral, all the molecules, they can exist as independent entity. But this is not true for all elements, because most of the elements, they are highly reactive, so they cannot exist as independent entity. Some of the elements, they do exist as independent entity. Now let us move on to laws of chemical combination. So there are three laws in this. One is the law of conservation of mass, next is law of definite proportion, and the third is Dalton's hypothesis or Dalton's atomic theory. Law of conservation of mass was proposed by Antoine L. Lavoisier. As per this law, mass cannot be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction, which means that in a given chemical reaction, the total mass of reactants is equal to the total mass of products. So the mass, whatever mass was supplied through reactant, same mass came out through products. Let us look at this example. This is a reaction between calcium oxide and water, which gives calcium hydroxide. So the equation is CaO plus H2O is equal to CaOH whole 2. The mass of calcium oxide in this reaction is 56 gram. For water it is 18 gram. So the total is 56 plus 18. It is equal to 74 gram. And the mass of calcium hydroxide, that is the product, is 74 gram. So the mass on left hand side and that on right hand side, they are equal. So this equation, it obeys the law of conservation of mass. Law of constant proportion. This law was proposed by Joseph Louis Proust, and as per this law, a chemical compound always contains exactly the same proportion of elements by mass. So whatever molecule you will take, the constituent elements, they will be in same proportion in a particular compound. So let us take example of water. Water is composed of hydrogen and oxygen, and the formula is H2O. So the molecule of water, it always contains hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio of 1 to 8, no matter what is the source of water, whether you take water from ocean or from river, or it's tap water or bottled water, whatever. So this shows the validity of law of constant proportion. Dalton's atomic theory. Based on the law of conservation of mass and law of definite proportion, Dalton further improvised and he postulated certain points about the nature of atoms. So these can be summarized as follows. The number one is that all matter is made of very tiny particles. These particles are called atoms, and atoms participate in chemical reactions. The next point is atoms are indivisible, so they cannot be divided. This was true during Dalton's time. Now we know that atoms, they can be broken into electrons, protons or neutrons, but once we break the atom, the element no longer exists. So atom is the smallest particle of element. Then atoms of a given element are identical in mass and chemical properties. So if you take the atoms of, say, sodium, each and every atom of sodium will have the same mass and same chemical properties. If we will take atoms of iron, then each and every atom of iron will have the same mass and same chemical properties. The next point is atoms of different elements have different masses and chemical properties. So now if you take one atom of sodium and another atom of chlorine, then they will have different masses and different chemical properties. Next point is atoms combine in the ratio of small whole numbers to form compound, and relative numbers and kinds of atom are constant in a given compound. So if you take water, a water molecule will always be having hydrogen and water. There will be two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen in a molecule of water. So this relative number and kinds of atoms, it will be constant. So whenever we take a molecule of water, it will be always composed of two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. Let us see some other examples also. So for sodium chloride, it will always be one atom of sodium combining with one atom of chlorine. For sodium sulfate, two atoms of sodium will combine with one atom of sulfur and four atoms of oxygen. For calcium carbonate, one atom of calcium will combine with one atom of carbon and three atoms of oxygen. So it will always be same. Symbols of element. To make it convenient, we use symbols to represent elements. Okay, because writing the name of elements can be tedious, it can be different in different languages, and the symbols, they are standard. For writing the symbol, first or initial two letters of English or Latin names, they are written. The first letter is always in capital, that is in uppercase, and the second letter is always in small, that is in lowercase. So here are some examples. For hydrogen it is H, helium is He, lithium Li, beryllium Be, boron B, carbon C, nitrogen N, and oxygen O. So these are all about English names. Let us see some examples with symbols from Latin names. So the symbol of sodium is Na and the Latin name is natrium. Symbol of potassium is K and the Latin name is kalium. Symbol of iron is Fe and the Latin name is ferrum. Symbol of copper is Cu and Latin name is cuprum. You don't need to memorize the symbol, because with practice in due course of time it will be your second nature. You can easily write symbols for various elements after practice. Atomic mass. Mass of atom is called atomic mass. Now, mass of one atom of hydrogen is 1.673 multiplied by 10 power minus 24 gram. So, if you write it in number in normal format, then it will be like this. There are so many zeros. The problem is that majority of the people, they will end up making mistakes while writing the number of zeros, and it is difficult to read this number out. So, to make it convenient, relative atomic mass is used instead of this absolute mass. So, relative atomic mass is one atomic mass is equal to 1/12 of mass of one atom of C12. C12 is the isotope of carbon, and one atomic mass is denoted by the letter U. So, if we say that atomic mass of oxygen is 16U, this means that it is 16 times of 1/12 of mass of one atom of C12. Similarly, if you say that the atomic mass of hydrogen is 1, it means it is just 1 times the 1/12 of mass of one atom of C12. Existence of atoms. Atoms of most of the elements, as I have said earlier also, they exist as molecules or ions because they are reactive. Atoms of some elements, they exist in free state because they are non-reactive. So, noble gases like helium, neon, argon, they are existing in free state. Otherwise, most of the elements, they exist as molecules or ions. So, those which exist as molecule, they can be classified on the basis of number of atoms in a molecule. So, there can be monoatomic with one atom in a molecule. So, helium, neon, argon, xenon and radon, they are monoatomic elements. Diatomic, that is molecules with two atoms. So, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and chlorine, they are diatomic molecules. Triatomic molecule is ozone with 3 atoms. Tetraatomic is phosphorus, and beyond that we have polyatomic molecules like sulfur. So, a molecule of sulfur contains 8 atoms of sulfur. Molecules of compounds. Here are some examples of molecules of compound. These are the formula, these are constituents of molecule, and this column shows the ratio of masses of constituent elements. So, for water it is H2O, this is composed of hydrogen and oxygen, and the ratio between hydrogen and oxygen is 1:8. For ammonia it is NH3, the constituents are nitrogen and hydrogen, and the ratio is 14:3. For carbon dioxide it is C and O, that is carbon and oxygen, and the ratio between carbon and oxygen is 3:8. Then there are some polyatomic ions. So, polyatomic ions, they are composed of more than one atom. So, for example, ammonium ion is NH4 plus. Plus means there is one positive charge on this ion. Hydroxide ion is OH minus. Nitrate is NO3 minus. Hydrogen carbonate is HCO3 minus. Carbonate is CO3 2 minus, which means it has 2 negative charges. Sulfate is SO4 2 minus. Now, let us see how to write chemical formulae. For this, you need to remember just one rule of thumb, that any element, it has a particular capability to combine with another element, and this capability to combine is called valency. Valency is similar to the number of hands. So say for example we have 2 hands. So at one time we can hold hands of 2 people. Okay. So let us say there is a spider and there are some human beings. A spider has 8 arms and a human being has 2 arms. So if a spider has to hold the hands of human beings in a way that each arm of the spider is held by one arm of a human being, then what will happen? We will require 4 people to hold the hands of spider. Okay, so the formula of this compound will be SH4. Okay, so in the same way we write chemical formula. So what do? Just write the names of constituent elements. Say for example hydrogen chloride. So hydrogen is written here, chlorine is written here, and below each element write their valence number. So for hydrogen it is 1 and for chlorine it is 1. Now cross connect the valency with elements. So the valency of hydrogen, it should connect with chlorine, and valency of chlorine should connect with H. Now write HCl, and this should be written against chlorine, and valency of chlorine should be written against hydrogen. So in this case both are 1, so it will be written as HCl. Let us see another example, that is water molecule. So hydrogen is written here, oxygen is written here. The valency of hydrogen is 1, that of oxygen is 2. So let us cross connect. So the valency of oxygen will be written next to hydrogen, and valency of hydrogen will be written next to oxygen. So the formula will be H2O. For aluminium oxide, the valency of aluminium is 3 and valency of oxygen is 2. So now the valency of oxygen is written next to aluminium and valency of aluminium is written next to oxygen. So the formula for aluminium oxide is Al2O3. Molecular mass. Sum of atomic masses of all the atoms in a molecule is called molecular mass. So to understand this, let us take example of the molecule of water. So the formula is H2O. Atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 unit and atomic mass of oxygen is 16 U, which means that molecular mass of water can be calculated as 2 multiplied by 1 for 2 atoms of hydrogen plus 16 for 1 atom of oxygen. So it will be 2 plus 16 is equal to 18 U. For nitric acid, HNO3, the atomic mass of nitrogen is 14 and rest of the components, they are same as here. Okay. So molecular mass, let us calculate. 1 for hydrogen, 14 for nitrogen, and 3 multiplied by 16 for 3 atoms of oxygen. So it is equal to 15 plus 48 is equal to 63 U. Apart from molecular mass, you will also read about formula unit mass. This is same as molecular mass. The only difference is that formula unit mass is used for representing ionic compounds, and for non-ionic compounds we use molecular mass. Mole concept. Mole concept is a concept which helps in making it convenient to represent large numbers of particles. Say for example, we use the term 1 dozen for 12 bananas, or we use the term century for 100. So similarly, 1 mole is equal to 6.022 multiplied by 10 power 23 elementary entities, and these entities can be an element or a molecule or ion or electrons or any other particles. Now the mass of 1 mole of a substance is equal to its relative atomic mass or molecular mass in gram. What does it mean? It means that, let us say the atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 U. So the mass of 1 mole of hydrogen will be equal to 1 gram, and number of atoms in 1 gram hydrogen atom will be 6.022 into 10 power 23. Similarly, atomic mass of oxygen is 16 U. So mass of 1 mole of oxygen will be 16 gram, and number of atoms in 16 gram oxygen, it will be 6.022 into 10 power 23. Let us take the example of a molecule, a reaction. So this is a reaction showing formation of water. So the equation is 2H2 plus O2 is equal to 2H2O. This is a balanced chemical equation which shows that 2 mole of hydrogen molecule react with 1 mole of oxygen molecule to give 2 mole of water molecule. If we have to represent it in terms of gram, then 4 gram of hydrogen molecule react with 32 gram of oxygen molecule to give 36 gram of water molecule. Okay. So representing in grams can be quite difficult most of the time. So it is easier to do so in terms of mole. That's all for this lesson. Thank you.